If you're feeling a lot of emotions right now, take a walk with me. I want to remind you that at our core, we are all human first and foremost. While we may define ourselves by individual and group identities, we share in our pain, grief, anger, frustration, irritation, sadness, and loneliness. Many of you who have been following my content for a while have begun to realize that you're not alone thanks to the comment section. You often watch my videos and come back with, "I thought I was the only one." And just as importantly, we share the wins that come through collaboration and innovation, along with a shared desire to leave the planet just a little bit better than how we found it. It's vital to remember that our external circumstances don't define our lives or our ability to find joy, purpose, and resilience. I would say that's your current mission right now, to step back, zoom out, and take a mental inventory of your situation, to recognize that no one's coming to save you, to hand you your dream life, or to lift you out of your current circumstances. For all of us, we share in the fact that this is our individual work to do. It's time for you to become the person that you're capable of becoming. Many of you might be thinking, "I don't even know who that person is yet." That's why it's important for you to ask these questions and answer them for yourself. Who am I? Where am I going? What am I doing? And why am I doing it? You have to recognize that you're always in a state of becoming, but what you become is up to you. True change, the change that you're actually seeking, starts from within, and then it ripples outward into the collective. I've spoken on this topic in many of my other videos, but it doesn't seem to be sinking in that you are the one that creates the change in your sphere of influence. When you make the choice to grow, develop, evolve, to become a seeker of knowledge instead of a passive observer of life, begin to reclaim your personal power. And a really great book recommendation on this topic is Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. It's a profound exploration of finding your individual purpose in the most extreme of circumstances. Frankl teaches that while we can't avoid suffering, we can choose how we respond to it, allowing yourself access to finding meaning in your struggles. It's this quest for meaning that is the cornerstone of resilience and fulfillment. Sadly, growth and change can sometimes be met with a lot of resistance. I see this sometimes in my comment sections where you pass judgment on me as an individual, yet you don't know what it took for me to get here. This is why I encourage you to listen to the Blueprint podcast, where you get to hear a little bit more about my story. And the resistance that you're met with is usually from the other people in your life, and it's not from a place of malice. It's a place of trying to keep you safe. You might hear them say, "Don't do that, don't go there, you can't do this, we've never done that before." But if you look around with an open mind, you'll find countless examples of people that have done exactly what you want to do. And then it's your job to connect with them. Put yourself in the rooms that you think that you don't belong in. You'll very quickly find that the only real difference between you and them is that they believed that they could, so they did. And sure, some people start with more than you, but others didn't, and they continue to persist. I used to think the same way. I always struggled in school, and college was always out of bounds for me. Eventually, you get sick of gaslighting yourself and of your own shit that you finally decide to do something different and bet on yourself. And I'm so glad I did, because that was the step that I needed to take in order to mature in my own process. The path to personal freedom and fulfillment may seem completely out of reach. It's filled with adversity and resistance along the way as you begin to challenge yourself in new and different ways. You begin to do things that you've never done before. You're in rooms that you feel that you don't belong in and that are completely out of your depth. It's there that you discover that most people, they're not against you. They want to help you succeed. But when you spend a lifetime in your own personal hell, mental prison, in the depths of despair, that can seem impossible. Ask me how I know. One of the keys to be successful in this endeavor of yours is to be sure to celebrate all the little wins along the way. You got an associate's degree. Good job. You finish your bachelor's degree. Good job. You got a scholarship. Even better. You got your master's degree. Holy shit. And for me, achieving all those things was completely out of bounds, and I found it extremely difficult to sit in the moment and accept it and find joy in those successes. I had to retroactively go back and heal those core wounds associated with joy. Because if you've never really fully experienced it or saw someone else go through it, you just don't know what it looks like. A lot of people that you know and are the closest people to you are going to doubt you. They're going to throw up a wall of resistance, and you're to be like, what's going on? What is this? I don't understand. I'm just trying to do something to better myself and give myself more chances in the future. What you have to understand is people have a little file of you in the back of their mind, and they're not always thinking about you, but they know, or at least they think they know, who you are and what you're capable of. When you deviate or you go out of bounds, it seems crazy, ridiculous, weird. And one of the best things that you can do in that moment is to give yourself a little bit of space to focus on what you're doing and to get things done. Eventually, there's a shift in their attitude and behavior towards you as you begin to have some of your successes. Some people will continue to push you away, and others will start asking questions like, hey man, what you did is really amazing. How'd you do that? My answer is, I don't know. I made a choice. I started doing things daily, little tasks that added up over time that became something much larger. You have to recognize that you're responsible for all the small daily actions that you take. So if things aren't quite adding up for you, you have to ask yourself, what is it that I'm not doing? What else is there that I could be doing? If you really want to get into it, ask yourself, when's the last time you actually fully showed up for anything? When you dive into this work and start doing all the things that you know that you need to be doing, other people are observing you. They're paying attention. They're watching. The place where you're going to have the most impact is in your sphere of influence, and more than likely with your little ones. They will emulate every little thing that you do. So when you decide to know, like, and trust yourself, you're actually teaching them to do the same thing. But it's really hard to like yourself when you continuously use the language of, I can't. Each one of us has the power to make our little corner of the world just a little bit better. And if you don't know where to start, just try showing up for someone else. Find a way to be of service. Ask them, is there anything I can do for you? How can I help? It's time to start leading with compassion, faith, and love. It's in that space that we come together and we can begin to create a better future for ourselves and for others. At the end of the day, it all starts with you. And if that makes you feel some feelings, good. You've got your work to do.